If a little green is good, more is even better. Now, back to Green is Good with John Shigarian and Mike Brady.
Welcome back to Green is Good, and we're so honored today to have Brad LePorte on with us. Brad is the Vice President of Manufacturing for Okabashi Shoes in Georgia, United States, and welcome to Green is Good, Brad LePorte.
Thank you.
Hey, you know, a lot of people out there, and we've got listeners not only all around the United States, but around the world, Brad. Share with us a little bit the Okabashi story.
Well, Okabashi started about 25 years ago with our founder's dream in mind of making the most comfortable shoe ever. And 25 years later, and about 30 million pairs of recyclable shoes were sold in 16 countries around the world.
That is awesome, and I love your tagline. And by the way, where Mike and I are on your great website right now, Okabashi.com, for our listeners out there that have their iPads, laptops, desktops in front of them. It's Okabashi.com. It's a beautiful website. I love the tagline: shoes that are good for you and good for the planet. That's great. What makes, you're the manufacturing guy, Brad. What makes a shoe green? Like, why is Okabashi green as opposed to other shoes? Help us out here.
Well, there's several things that go into making a shoe green or even a company green, and really goes really deep into the culture of the company itself. Obviously, recycling programs, 100% of our shoes are recyclable. Not only that, from a pre-consumer, using all of our waste, our byproducts of making the shoes to be able to put them back into new shoes, but also post-consumer recycling. So if you buy a pair of Okabashis and 5 or 10 years down the road, if you wear them out and want to buy a new pair, and if you so desire, I'd like for you to throw them in the dishwasher and send them back to me. We'll grind them up and put them back into some new shoes.
That is awesome. So let's talk about this from step one, no pun intended. How does this really work? What do you make your great shoes out of, and how is that different from what other shoes are made out of? And explain then not only the what goes into it, but the whole process and why your carbon footprint is the lowest, etc.
Sure. So it starts out obviously with the material selection or the material development that we've chosen for our materials. Typical shoes are made out of EVA or leather or some products like that are not easily recyclable. We've developed a material called Microplast, and it's really a combination of some proprietary stuff that we've developed here to put into shoes that not only allows us to use the process waste, but also to use the post-consumer type material. So we bring the material back, grind it up. We use some precision scales and blending equipment to use a certain percentage to put back into our brand new shoes. Not only that, you go into the carbon footprint. Selecting our vendors within and around the United States, not importing our stuff from overseas, allows us to have a pretty small carbon footprint on this beautiful green earth, as opposed to somebody. Our typical shoes travel about 700 miles, whereas a lot of the import companies travel about 11,000 miles.
So basically, being made in the USA, besides having other benefits, creating great jobs here and helping to grow our new green economy, it also lowers the carbon footprint of an Okabashi shoe.
Sure, has other benefits too. Obviously, we're not paying any import taxes or tariffs. We're not using We're using in-house natural resources. We're not buying them from overseas. It's a win-win for America and a win-win for Okabashi.
Do you only make the shoes in Georgia, or are there other locations also in the United States?
We only make the shoes in Georgia.
Gotcha. And, again, walk us through a little bit, this whole issue of closed loop. Can you define, as a manufacturer, what a closed loop means and, why your closed loop process is really, superior to others?
Well, I guess you have to look at every stream or every possible stream of waste within your facility. And a closed loop means that none of that waste is going to go into a landfill or get thrown in the ocean. So, being able to use, again, all of our process materials, not throwing them out, allows us to close that loop, as well as once it leaves the doors. Most companies in a closed loop system, take care of their own stuff internally. With having a post consumer recycling program. We also extend that out and then make it the responsibility of our consumers to go ahead and send us back and be conscious of the environment, send those shoes back for us to be ground.
Well, so much of, when we have great guests like you on, Brad, talk a little bit about the corporate DNA at Okabashi. The green DNA. Do you have an on-site recycling program? Is there other things that you guys do besides the shoes, just as a company culture that, really shows the walk of Okabashi?
Sure, you actually really hit on the nail on the head there. The key word there is culture. It doesn't matter if it's a marketing person or a machine operator back in the back or myself. It's a culture that's embedded in Okabashi. Whether it comes to going to low-energy lighting, we have skylights in our facility. When it's a sunny day, we turn the lights out and let the skylights light the place. To a 100% recycled cardboard program, right down to even recycling our soda cans in the break room.
Wow.
It's really through and through everybody's responsibility to take care of this planet.
And how many employees approximately do you guys have there?
We have about 200 employees.
200 employees. So what, as a manufacturer, a lot of people say, if it's green, it's more expensive. What are some of you're now considered a green manufacturer, and probably the people who work for you, even though you've been doing this for years, are probably considered, green-collar jobs, part of the green-collar economy. You're a manufacturing specialist, Brad. What are the challenges that face, you particularly as a green manufacturer that you have to be faced with every day and that you try to overcome on a daily basis?
Sure, and a lot of companies have it. Everybody has the misconception that being green is going to cost you more money.
Right.
When inherently, if you're doing the right things and you make your facility or your company green as a whole, it'll end up saving you money overall. So it may cost you more to get rid of your hazardous waste in a proper way, or it may cost you more to have the right permits to having things done properly or removed properly from your facility. But if it's an overall culture, you're saving on the other end, whether it's material or soda cans or cardboard. Those things far outweigh the additional cost for the incidentals.
That is great. That is just And so when your company, I'm here on your website, and this is just such a wonderfully well done and simple website, but it explains so much of what you're doing. It says here zero waste lean manufacturing. So you don't have any waste, as you explained earlier. What is lean manufacturing? I mean, does that mean everybody who's working on the line is skinny? I mean, what's going on here, Brad? I can't be on that line then.
That's good, but no, unfortunately, not everybody's real thin. But
okay.
What it means, and lean manufacturing kind of is a spin-off from the Toyota production system.
Okay.
I come from an automotive background, so in adapting a lean principle to a factory is the elimination of waste. And the whole lean, culture is eliminating waste, whether it's people walking around, forklifts driving here and there, whatever be the case, it's a total elimination of waste. So you look for any and all places that you can remove that excess waste, movement, material, and so on.
That is so. It's part of that. Is it part of then, like you just said, you came out of auto manufacturing. When I many moons ago, when I studied this stuff back in business school, was that just in time? A little bit of that also. Sure.
Yeah, we do not have any finished good product. We actually keep our product in its first states as much as possible to eliminate if something were to change in the marketplace, where we wouldn't have a bunch of product on the floor that we'd have to dispose of or regrind or waste energy to try to make into new type shoes.
Brad, again, the website is amazing, and I love, again, another one of your slogans: wear, period, rewear, period, recycle. And that's just so simple. And so when we're looking at Microplast, that today is the first day I've ever heard of that. Is that something that's trademarked by your company and is a proprietary way of manufacturing this wonderful foot plastic wear?
Yes, absolutely. It is a trademarked name. And it is totally proprietary of what the formula is proprietary of what we put into the material to make all this wonderful stuff happen, to make it comfortable, durable. Typically, our shoes will last anywhere from 2 to 4 years. We have a 2-year guarantee on all the footwear that we reproduce. Again, that's a green initiative in its own. Is if you make stuff that lasts, then you don't have to worry about people throwing it out.
Now, Brad, can we ask, you talk about comfort, and I'm on the side like John is right now on my PC, and really they look very cool, very comfortable. How would you describe the feel for someone, if you were to put it into words for somebody listening right now? What would the feel of the material be likened to?
There's really no feel that I could explain. Let me give you this. Go into your closet at home and grab a pair of flip-flops that are not Okabashis and take a look at them and feel them. And then grab a pair of Okabashis and take a look at them as well, and you'll see a heel support or a heel cup that contours the heel of your foot. You'll see arch support that gives you, obviously support to your arch. There's massaging foot beads in several strategic places around the shoe. There's a specific toe rest that actually supports your toes in the right proper position as you're wearing the shoe. So compared to some of our competitors, we put a lot of time and effort into the reflexology that are built into our shoe.
That is so great. And the coolest part is, like you said earlier in the show, Brad, once you're done wearing them, you could actually send them back to you guys, and you guys are going to grind them up and make them into new shoes.
Absolutely. If you want to refreshen the look of your Okabashis, throw them in the dishwasher. If you want to, they're wore out or the style's changed, you've kind of gone from your college days and now you're a little bit older and want to change your style, you send them back to us. We'll grind them up and they'll be a new pair of shoes in no time.
Come on, I mean, this is and everybody, please, all of our listeners out there, you got to go on their site. Their site is just wonderful. It's Okabashi.com, Okabashi.com. We're on with Brad LePorte now. Open up your laptop, your iPad, or your desktop and check this out, because not only do they have all the processes and procedures, how they make these great shoes, but Mike and I are just sitting here and we're really enjoying looking at all the styles and everything you have. This is not just a one-size-fits-all type deal. You really cater to everyone's idiosyncrasies and different tastes. Not
only that, look at the price. We're doing all this and keeping conscious for our environment for around $15.
That's it. I'm looking at $12.99 to $14.99. The price points for all the men's and women's are just comparable too. This is just amazing.
This is great, and so we could buy it online, or like you said earlier when we started the show, in 16 different countries right now.
Right. Yes, we have some major retailers around the United States. Whole Foods, Meijer, CVS in their summer aisles, Walgreens. We're in several places. Or
we could just buy it online. We could go to your site and just buy it right there.
Absolutely.
How many?
Best way to get the style and color that you want, and we have everything on the website.
That is great. How many years have you been there?
I've been with Okabashi a few years now.
And how did you go from automotive to footwear? What was the epiphany that went through your mind, Brad, and said, hey, you know what? I've built cars now and wheels for people to get around. Now I'm going to take care of their real wheels, their feet.
Yeah, that's, I guess, from wheels to wheels is a perfect description. With the automotive industry doing what it's doing, I wanted to go to a place that I wanted to be able to make a difference.
Right.
There's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of waste in the automotive industry. Just
right.
Not only on the floors, just paperwork that flies around the office.
Got it.
Okabashi's a smaller company that I could come in, make some changes right away, and reap the benefits.
So no other shoes. I mean, I'm looking at all these different features of your shoes. Supportive contours, reflexology-inspired massage beads. Then you have the Microplast material. These are unique to Okabashi shoes. That you can't find these with other brands out there that compete against, casual footwear.
That's right.
That's great. So let's talk about, then the journey now. How do you, Mike and I are so blessed. We've had so many neat people on. Ray Anderson, another wonderful of our guests from the Georgia area, really one of the granddaddies of sustainability. And everyone we always ask, Brad, about the journey. Talk to us about the process. How is Okabashi today? Where was it when you found it? And where is it going in the future as a brand in terms of sustainability with regards to people, planet, and profits? Walk us a little bit about, when you wake up in the morning, how you're going to take Okabashi to the next level with the leadership there.
Well, I guess it comes down to something we've been doing for a while now, is constantly moving forward. Sustainability is a very big part. It's a good term that you use. Sustainability is a very, very big part of Okabashi. But you can kind of get stagnant just being sustainable. Moving to the next level or next, I guess, road target, I guess, down the road. What we're doing right now is we're developing Microplast 2 that is indeed lighter, stronger, will last even longer, and use less fossil fuels to make the product.
You know, Brad, one of my favorite quotes of yours that I read over the weekend when Mike and I were preparing for this show was, "The American dream is filled with many sleepless nights." Would you like to share, because we have lots of entrepreneurs that listen to this show around the world, and a lot of young people who want to be the next, Brad LePorte, or owners of or founders of Okabashi Shoes. What does "the American dream is filled with many sleepless nights" mean to you, and what did you mean by that? Because I think that's a wonderful and very true quote.
Well, yeah, actually, that was the quote of our owner, Bauman Irvani, but
okay.
It actually relates back to everybody he has in key positions. This is our business. This is what we get up in the morning and can't wait to get to. We're up late. We're thinking of new things to do, new adventures to embark on, new ways to make things better for our customers, new ways to make things better for our people. And this is pretty entailing. And if I have to say what it means is, it means you get out of it what you put into it. If you put the minimal amount of effort into something, you'll get the minimal amount of results.
Right. But I mean, now that, honestly, Mike and I have had no experience, nor have we had the pleasure of wearing one of your great shoes, but I know in the future we're going to. How do you continue to grow a brand? You're in 16 countries. You've sold over 30 million pairs of shoes already. Well, how do you continue now to grow this brand and get the word out? Because people do care. People do want to wear and support great companies like yours that are zero waste, that are trying to do everything the right way. Although no company's perfect, you guys are really not only talking a great talk, Brad, and that's to your credit, but and no pun intended, but you're walking a great walk. How do you go to the next level here?
Well, I think we just can't stop. I think it's great radio shows like yours. The Atlanta Business Chronicle is helping us out and get the word out. Getting the word out to the majority of people is the most important thing. Like you said, we've got a great story. We've got an unbelievable product. And once you wear a pair of Okabashis, you won't buy anything else. I guarantee it. But getting that out to the people, have them put our shoes on, understand what it's doing for their feet, understand what it's doing for the environment, and from there, Okabashi will take over. Hey,
and let me just say this. Mike and I are on your website now, and I'm telling you, this is way long gone from our hippie parents or grandparents or anything. These are beautiful shoes, and they're both for men and women. So please, again, you got to go check them out at okabashi.com, Okabashi. Brad, a lot of people write to Mike and I, a lot of young people or people looking to reinvent their careers or want to be the next Brad LePorte. Well, he was in one industry, did really well, and he now was really making a difference. Talk a little bit about your own personal journey and for the young people in college studying to be entrepreneurs or business people or manufacturing people, engineers out there, how do they follow in your footsteps now that the green revolution has taken hold here in the United States and around the world and seems to be only picking up velocity?
Sure. I'm really, my personal story, I've come a long way in a very short period of time. I'm fairly young. But the biggest thing I can contribute it to is the effort that you put into it and the way you try and grasp as many things and learn as many things from as many people as you can. If you're not learning something each day, then you should go home and think, well, tomorrow, how do I learn something? If I'm a manufacturing guy, don't concentrate on manufacturing, concentrate on marketing, concentrate on finance, concentrate on PR. Concentrate on other things that can make yourself more rounded and make the decisions you make more rounded and more, I guess, accepted or grasped or followed by your peers and other people in the industry. If you can go through life and make a difference every day at a time, you'll definitely get ahead in life, and you'll actually look back and say, hey, I really made a difference. I'm really making my footprint in this world. No pun intended.
That is just awesome. You know, what we're Mike and I are just also amazed about, not only is what the quality of your shoe with the Microplast and also all the styles you have, but you talked a little bit about earlier about the average price somewhere around $15, and that is the average price here. How do you, using the manufacturing, the lean manufacturing, and your closed loop system, how do you keep the price down? Whereas so many people who have a unique product, the price is high. How is your price so reasonable?
Well, I guess it's one of the inherent benefits of being green. You know, to be able to use as much of your material as you can. Obviously, if we're using ground-up material or you have making no waste, it reduces the cost of the shoes. Right. If you can make improvements on using less energy and running faster cycle times, it makes shoes cheaper. You know, if you're not paying import duties or trucking something from Portland to Georgia or from China to Georgia, it makes things cheaper. So inherently, by being green, it's also a cost benefit to us.
Got it. That makes so much sense. And, you know, this is a family-run business. You have, you know, the patriarch is still very involved, and at least one of his sons are still involved. Is that not correct?
Yeah, one of the sons of the website you're looking at he runs the website. Done
really, really well. I mean, really well. And you can also connect with Okabashi at Facebook. They have a great community. And but let's talk a little bit about family businesses. You know, we're down to the last couple of minutes. How is that different from you? You work for a big automotive company. We've had Ford on this company, and they are doing great things. We've had Walmart, and there is such amazing things that come out of big corporate America, Alcoa, and great brands that are doing great things out there. But now you're working within, you know, a smaller family company. Share a little bit about the trade-offs and the benefits of that, Brad.
Well, obviously, the trade-off from a large company and the exposure that comes along with a large company like a Ford or a Chrysler or something like that, it's easy you already have a pretty wide base of customers. Everybody knows who you are, and when you're introducing a new product, getting the word out isn't as hard as for a company like Okabashi. However, on the flip side, getting a new product, making a new product come to market, and making that product right is a whole lot easier with a smaller company. There's a lot less roads to go through. There's a lot less bureaucracy. Still the same testing type parameters that you still want to follow and make sure the product is sustainable. However, it's a whole lot easier to bring that product to market.
That's great. Well, we're down to the last minute, and of course, you're always welcome back, Brad, to Green is Good. You have any last pearls of wisdom to share with our listeners? Remember, we have listeners not only here in the United States, but after it airs in the United States, it also is uploaded to the iTunes system, and we have listeners on the Apple network around the world. Anything else you want to share about you and Okabashi?
Well, I mean, I guess one of the things I'd like to bring across to the listeners is America has become a purchasing nation where we're actually purchasing most of our stuff from outside of America. Let's bring purchasing and manufacturing back to America and make things for Americans by Americans.
That is just wonderful, Brad. Thank you for your time. Mike and I are just so honored for you being here today. For all listeners out there, please go and look and buy Okabashi Shoes at okabashi.com. As I said to you earlier, it is a wonderful website. You can find it at okabashi.com. Brad, LePorte, you're both informational and inspirational and truly living proof that green is good.